Hey kids. So the sun was eaten by the moon and the sun survived. And that was very exciting. And now I'm back with my second video of the day. It's an unboxing video. I'm so excited. This is a copy of a deck that I already own. It's an out-of-print deck, so if you don't like unboxings of decks that aren't still in print, you might not want to watch this. I already own this deck. I found a beautiful sealed copy of it on eBay about a year ago and tucked that away and have been looking ever since for an affordable second copy that could become the copy that I paw over and use and play with and adore. But this is an expensive deck. It's Luigi Scapini's Tarocchi di Giulietta e Romeo, the Shakespeare Tarot. And, it comes up not too infrequently on eBay, but, for like $200, $240. I don't know if it actually sells at those prices, but it's hard to find one at a price that I can afford. So I was talking about this in my, how I really think that I would love this deck, but I haven't actually played with it. I was talking about this in my VR to Two Spirits Soul Deck video. And wonderful YouTuber Annalisa Bastiani said, "Oh, I have a copy of this. I got it at, you can buy these at, or used to be able to buy it at tobacco shops in Italy. That's where you buy tarot decks in Italy." And I said, "Oh," and she said, "Yeah, oh, that's wonderful." And she said, "Oh, I can send you pictures of mine." And she actually did send me a little video, uploaded a little video that showed me the deck. It was really wonderful. And she said, "Oh, here, look, it's available on YouTube, on eBay. It's cheap." The edition that she pointed to me to is not the one I bought. It wasn't the right version of it. But what her email made me realize is that if I search for this deck as the Shakespeare Tarot, which is what it's commonly known as, it comes up only in expensive copies online. And that if I search for it by its Italian name, I might find Italian vendors who are willing to sell it less expensively. And that is, in fact, what I found in this copy, which came to me from Rome and actually didn't take all that long to get. Interestingly, the shipping cost was, not as expensive as the cost of the deck, but almost as expensive. So that's really interesting. Okay, so the woman that I bought it from packed it beautifully. We had a little bit of a difficulty communicating. I was trying to make sure that the picture of the deck on her eBay was the actual deck, because sometimes people post pictures of another, they just grab a stock photo. And it is. But so we went back and forth. My not so great Italian plus, Google Translate and polishing up my Italian. It was great. Nothing like buying decks to work on one's foreign languages, eh? So here it is, the Shakespeare Tarot. But this is the name that, that Italian eBay vendors know it by. The Tarocchi di Giulietta e Romeo, the Romeo and Juliet, or Juliet and Romeo tarot. So it's actually sealed. Wow, it's all sealed. Okay. The box is pretty beat up. It's heavy. This is a heavy box. So this is a Del Negro deck, and I can't remember when it came out. I don't know that offhand. Wow. Okay. Oh. All right. Here's the inner box. So far, so good. Ooh. Okay, this is the deck itself. This is also sealed. At least the whole thing wasn't completely sealed. Man. Oh, man. And here's the little book, which looks like it's one of those which it's Italian on one side and English on the other. The text is by Luigi Scapini, translated by Susanna Corradi, and it doesn't have a copyright date. So I still don't know when this deck came out. All right, I'll look it up and then put it in the, put it either down below or... Okay, so it's sealed, but the whole point of buying this deck was because I already have a sealed copy and I want a copy to play with. And this was not expensive. This was like, this whole thing was like the cost of buying, you know, a indie deck now. A little bit more, maybe. Oh, that new tarot smell. Okay. So this is, of course, going to be not a review. I haven't even seen all these cards before. So here we are in the pence. So modestly illustrated. And I think the point with this deck is I think this isn't really, you know, I think this is really focusing. Why is there Saturn? I don't know. I think this is really focusing on the story of Romeo and Juliet. I'll have to look at the book to get a good sense of it. You know, look at that kind of Tudor. So the Fonte dei Denari, the Page of Coins. So, you know, if you're familiar with the medieval Scapini or with the Scapini drawn cards that he, the 4 extra cards in the Visconti Sforza that he drew for Stuart Kaplan, you'll be familiar with this style, this very kind of ornate style with the kind of gold, faux gold. It's not really gold leaf, it's just drawn gold backing, like a Visconti Sforza deck. The wands. Yeah, I'm thinking that these cards must all have a reference to... Oh, wait a minute. Now that looks like Falstaff. Okay, so it... Yeah, that's Falstaff. That's Merry Wives of Windsor. Okay, so clearly this isn't just Romeo and Juliet. And that looks like that must be... Is that... What the heck? I don't know. Is that it's not Othello. So, Midsummer Night's Dream, that's got to be Midsummer Night's Dream with the Indian boy. So it looks like all of these have a reference to a different Shakespeare play. Okay. So in this, you know, in the long line of the tradition of folks referencing Shakespeare's plays. Oh. Okay, so here we've got, that's Caliban. That must be Caliban and Miranda. The Page of Wands, so the Tempest. What the heck is that? I do not know. The Queen of Wands. Okay. I just have to look that up. The Queen of Wands. This is Taming of the Shrew. I don't know. That is Taming of the Shrew. If there are strong ladies with a well-shaped animus who dislike Tame Katharina's story, they will surely forgive me because here's my Queen Katharina's in full state and sitting in this card on a decent throne, the top of a Asoka pillar with 3 Sakya lions, and her feet are poised on a Surya sunflower and her head adorned with Shiva's mitre, and his lingam. Okay. Whoa. There's Katarina. This deck is going to be full of weirdness. This is going to be so much fun to explore. Oh, my Lord. Look at this. Okay. So just very idiosyncratic. So Taming of the Shrew plus, you know, Shiva and Buddhism. All right, I'm gonna, oh, wow, look at that 7 of Cups. Okay, more Midsummer Night's Dream. Looks like it. Oh, this is just so delicious and delightful, playful. It's so Scapini. The man's a crazy genius. I have no idea. Some of these, there's just no way I'm going to figure out. Oh, that's got to be, is that King Lear? That's got to be King Lear. I should say, I'm a Shakespearean. I mean, as in my academic background is Shakespeare studies and early modern and Renaissance, and these cards are sort of delicate. So, I mean, wacky, crazy, fabulous, delicate. So I'm hoping you can see some of the detail here. The background is kind of it looks really white in this light, but it's not. You can sort of see it's more mottled. Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm not sure. I am not sure what play that's from. Oh, beautiful. That's got to be Lady Macbeth. That has got to be Lady Macbeth. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my God. This may be my favorite Queen of Swords ever. Macbeth is kind of my favorite play. Yeah. Oh. I'm sorry, guys. This is just me groaning. The Fool! Look at that Fool! Hold on. This may totally not float your boat. This may just be like weird. I don't know. I'd be curious. And if any of you have this deck, the Magician is, of course, Shakespeare. Now, so there's like at least 4 different Shakespeare decks that I know of that are real tarot decks. And it's totally not unusual for folks to think of the Magician as the bard himself. But this is a particularly wonderful rendition of the puppet master. Or to think of the high priestess as, well, is that Elizabeth? Doesn't look like Elizabeth. Is that? But it would be weird if it's not Elizabeth. But it's. Oh yeah, Mary Stuart. Interesting. Oh, because Elizabeth is the Empress. Okay. So it's Mary Stuart, and then here's Elizabeth. Okay. That's interesting. That makes sense. Okay. Tons to look at. And of course, his Scapini likes to fit portraits of actual historical people into his cards. He did that with his cards for the medieval Scapini. And that's a very early modern thing to do, where you sneak into a painting, you sneak a reference. Oh, I love that Hermit. I wonder if that's supposed to be Friar Lawrence in Romeo and Juliet. And then is this Lear again? That might be Lear one more time. Okay, we're getting through. Oh, that's got to be Hamlet. Perfect. Hamlet is the hanged man. Romeo and Juliet in death. I like the dancing skeletons. Huh. I am not sure what that Temperance is a picture of. The devil. Sometimes people like to depict the devil as Shylock in Merchant of Venice, which pisses me off. It's so good. it's so fucked up, frankly. It's like he's called a devil in that play, or Othello, also called the devil. It's like, okay, yeah, let's just pick, the Jew and the Moor and just make them the devil, because that's what Shakespeare's culture did. That's not problematic at all. This makes a lot more sense. This is Richard III. Okay. The devil is deceiver. The devil is the great villain. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet. There's a lot of Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet. Okay, alrighty. Ooh, look at this world card. Beautiful. Okay, folks. I'm a very happy camper. I've wanted this deck for a couple years. Finally got a copy, kept it sealed. Now I have another copy, which I unsealed. Mwah. Mwah.